The stock market took a huge dive just moments ago after the opening bell in reaction to Britain voting to leave the European Union.
Joining us live from London is ABC's Tom Rivers. Tom, how is it there in the heart of the matter this morning?
Well, yeah, right here, same story. Buckets of red ink. And at the outset, stocks were down about 8%. About 4% of that is back now. They've clawed back about half. The pound down about 10%. So if you're an American tourist, come over now. Your buck will go a whole lot further. So yes, there are big worries and concerns here, at least in the short term. Things will eventually settle out financially, but we're not there yet. It's still very, very volatile right now. And as we saw, there's knock-on effects around the world. New York, the latest one, but of course, Asia will catch it later on as well.
Being here in the U.S., Tom, we might not be able to feel some of the passion that has been going on both sides of this issue. Talk about a little bit what kind of passion you have seen over there in London.
Well, the passion was more with the Leave campaign. It's almost like you used your head to say, well, you know what the European Union is. It may not be, the sexiest choice, but we know what to expect. But the choice for the Leave people felt it in their bones. They said, we've had enough. We're fed up. We want to strike out at somebody. Guess what? We can do it now in a referendum. So they were more passionate. And maybe that's what put them over the top, because as we said, this was fairly close, roughly 52-48. But again, the wind was in the sails of the Leave campaign. And again, the camp that was saying to stay in the European Union, they didn't have a real strong message out there other than to say, this is for your kids, this is for your grandkids, think ahead, this is a choice for everybody.
I've heard it described that Great Britain could almost be divided into Romania and Levia. Is that true, that there are almost two groups of people now in Great Britain?
It's sort of, yeah. I mean, London, for instance, predominantly Remain. If you go up to the Rust Belt, Northern England, that's predominantly Leave. And how did they get there? Well, they've been looking at 8 years of austerity measures from the government. They've seen the wealth gap widen over that period. They saw the middle class shrink and shrink and shrink. The few that are rich are getting richer, and the group of poor people are getting bigger. So they're saying, standard operating machine politics isn't helping my life one little bit. This was their chance to strike back, and they have.
And I guess the big question now, Tom, is what happens next? How soon does this whole process begin and get underway?
Yeah, we have a little bit of a sketchy timetable. Cameron's going to keep the seat warm at 10 Downing Street for the next couple of months until there's a new election in his party for the next prime minister. It could well be the former mayor of London, Boris Johnson, who was on the other side of the argument, because Cameron says, look, you need somebody that was behind that campaign to run this thing through with Brussels, and it's going to take a long time. It's not snap your fingers time. It's going to take years with a whole fleet of lawyers to disentangle treaties and all kinds of draft agreements, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually, the divorce will be over, and Britain will be single, and the world can be Britain's oyster if it goes out into the world as the fifth largest economy, cuts good deals with other countries, trade agreements, and actually does some very good work out there. But the proof is going to be in the pudding, and we're not there yet. We'll see how much of a gain it'll have long term.
We'll follow your reports. Thank you, Tom. That's ABC's Tom Rivers reporting for us live from London on the KSL In-Depth this morning.